Hi, Tim Elliott here again. I just want to share my thoughts on how someone can become a successful entrepreneur. Now, it's quite a big question, but one that gets asked quite a lot. So, I've tried to make it really simple for you and break it down into some rules to follow. Here's number one. It all starts with diagnosis. Right? You need, as a successful entrepreneur, to do the research to build an understanding of the challenge you're about to undertake, whether it's an opportunity or a problem that we've spoken about in a different video. You really need to get to grips with the whole scenario, the whole situation in front of you, understand the competition, the market, the size of the opportunity, the scale of the opportunity, and who you choose to serve. Understand the people you're trying to reach and why they should buy off you. There's a whole bunch of work to done before we launch anything. You've got to get good at a piece of diagnosis. You've got to really understand the situation you're about to launch into. Because I can tell you from experience, from being in this game for 23 years now, that a lot of businesses miss out the diagnosis piece. So the businesses who do have it, the entrepreneurs who spend the time to do a bit of diagnosis in the beginning, have a real competitive advantage. I can't tell you how important it is. So number one is it all starts with the diagnosis. Never forget that, whether you're launching a business, a product, a service, or a piece of marketing. It all starts with a good piece of diagnosis. So next up is be brave. Now this is a really important one. Right? Entrepreneurs should be ambitious. The thing you're going to do should seem somewhat achievable. I've put on there the middle is where the good idea is going to die. Everybody out there, every business owner out there, every company out there, every organization out there kind of knows how to be good. They wouldn't have a business if they weren't good enough. But in entrepreneurship, good enough is ironically not good enough. You need to go a bit further. You need to go a bit bigger. You need to go a bit harder. You need to be brave enough to stand out in a crowded marketplace because it's noisy out there. And that takes a bit of bravery. It takes a bit of gumption. It takes a bit of courage to put yourself out there, especially if you're new, especially if you're on your own. But all the glory and all the good stuff comes to those who are brave, because 99% of people, 99% of businesses won't take that step. So be brave is my next rule. And then comes the long and short. So long-termism is another thing that's missing in many organizations out there. Right? Even if you're a successful entrepreneur and maybe you look to sell your company in 5, 10, 15 years, right? From a goal setting, from a purpose driving situation, you need to have a long-term vision. I'm talking 15, 20, 25-year visions, because you'll go bigger, you'll go home. It's important to think in the long term. All the money's in the long term. If you think in the long term, you will get short-term wins, which is where the short comes off. Thinking long term allows you to take little steps, quick wins, short-term sales activations that will help you achieve your long-term aim. Neither one of these work really well on their own. You can't just have long-term goals and visions. You can't just have short-term wins. You need both, and the long and the short, to be a successful long-term entrepreneur. A really good way of thinking about this is in horizons. So I like every business to have 3 horizons, 3 aiming points. So you have the first one, which is within 3 months. The next horizon, horizon 2, should be within 12 months after that. So the first 18 months. And after that should be your big vision. like your long-term goal. We're talking years and decades in front. So you want those 3 horizons, and they should start with the long term and then reverse engineer them. Next up is one of the most important words you will learn as an entrepreneur, and that's amplify. Amplify what works. It, honest to God, is the best one-word marketing strategy. So when you found something that works in your business, a service that people want, a product that people want, you create a sale, you get a review, a testimonial, some really good feedback, something good happens in your entrepreneurial journey, amplify it. Tell that story as far and as wide and as loudly as you possibly can, because that proves what you say is true, and proof is the holy grail in acquiring any kind of customer. And then you need to find good people, right? I know a bunch of entrepreneurs, I've even been one myself, and we're not good at everything, right? You need good people around you. If you're not a numbers guy, get somebody good at numbers to help you. If you're not a systems or a process or a detail person, get somebody who is to help you. You need a team around you, whether that's suppliers, freelancers, fellow entrepreneurs that provide that service to help you. But you need to focus on what you're good at. Don't try and be everything, because you'll end up doing a bunch of important stuff not very well. And then I would get a mentor, get a trusted advisor, look to somebody who's been where you want to go and understands the situation. Having somebody not connected to your business that you can talk to, you can have honest conversations with, you can be vulnerable to, you can ask the tricky questions for guidance and advice is invaluable. And people get mentors too late. Get a mentor from the beginning. And then good suppliers, right? Good suppliers, if you choose to buy in services to help you deliver whatever you're trying to deliver, you need to understand how to build good relationships with the suppliers and find a trusted one, because it's not them that will be in trouble if they let you down. It's your brand, it's your business that will come up with it. So understand how to build and find good suppliers. And then customers. It's easy to go for the money and take up bad customers, but you need to find the right people who care about what you do. You don't just want the product or service that you provide one time or over a short period of time. You want the right customer. You want good customers. The way to making better profit and doing better work as an entrepreneur is having the right clients, having the right customers. It's not about the number of customers, it's understanding the right one. But this one is all about understanding good people. Get used to building relationships, get used to listening and being empathetic to people, because you'll need good people around you in order to be successful. And they're my basic rules for how to be a successful entrepreneur. Hope they were useful. Thank you very much.